Niko Tinbergen is most famous for the 4 whys of Tinbergen, the 4 questions for which he used explanations about the causation, about the development, about the function, and about the evolution of behavior. His experiments on beewolves were among the most important ones because he was not satisfied by just exploring the behavior of 1 or 2 individuals. Tinbergen published his observations on the beewolves in 3 important papers, published in 1932, 35 and in 1938. The beewolves would bring the bees to the nest, which is in the sand. In the sandy area, you can imagine it's not so easy to find your nest. So Tinbergen was very smart in designing the first experiments in behavioral ecology. His hypothesis was that the beewolves would use landmarks. And there are plenty of pine cones around here, so Tinbergen collected pine cones and placed them around the nest to test if the bees would use these landmarks. He left the pine cone ring around the nest for a couple of hours until and observed the bees foraging and bringing bees to their nest. Then he would move the whole pine cone ring to another site and predicted that if they would use these pine cones as landmarks, that they would look for their nest at this new site. And this, in fact, is what happened. Most importantly, he was not satisfied by testing just 1 or 2 individuals, as it was common at that time, the early 30s. He tested out several bees, and he found that all the bees he tested, beewolves he tested, would use these pine cones as their landmark. In subsequent experiments, published in 1938, he and his students tested a range of different setups. What an experimental site. There are thousands